Welcome one and all. We have got a very sort of different chinwag today. This video may or may not work. I've got my friend Matt here, who a lot of you are going to recognise. So what we thought we'd do a little chinwag. We'll have a sort of relaxed chat whilst playing Elton John, and which you've not seen before.
No, first time.
And well, we'll just go a little chat, little catch up. Matt's got an awful lot going on, haven't you, with Pinball Republic?
Yes.
With London Pinball.
Yep.
With the IFPA.
Yes, I'll be the new UK tournament director for the IFPA, representative, starting January 1st.
Looking forward to that?
Yeah, it's gives everyone a chance to moan at someone else, doesn't it?
I want them all moan at you.
Well, rather than Wayne.
Yeah, well, there you go. Yeah, oh, absolutely. Yeah, for sure. Well, I'll tell you what, we'll deal with all of that. Also, this fine... See this fine... what are you calling this translite thing? What are we calling it?
Well, it's a translite light box, isn't it?
Yeah. So we've got Deadpool. We've got the old favourite there, Deadpool. Matt's brought that over, which is absolutely brilliant. I think that works a treat. I think that's going to live... That's precisely where it's going to live in this cave. But I think what we've got to do first of all, I think is probably turn on the lights. Turn on Elton John, if you pardon the expression.
It's going to make this look dull, isn't it?
It really, really is. What's your first impressions when you've seen it fire up?
Well, Frenchie's knocked it out of the park with the artwork. It looks fantastic. I'll be honest, Elton John, when I heard the theme, very indifferent to me. I don't mind his music, but I certainly wouldn't say I'd seek it out or like it particularly. But it does look good. It looks interesting. Yeah.
Have you got any JJPs?
I haven't. I remember when Wizard of Oz came out, I thought it was really impressive, but I wouldn't say I enjoyed it. It was very impressive. It was new. Broke boundaries, but I wouldn't say I enjoyed that game. Then they followed that up with, it was The Hobbit, wasn't it? And that went through a...
That was their second, was it?
I believe so.
Was it not dialed in?
No, I think it was
Hobbit. Okay, well, you'd know better than me.
But it went through a difficult sort of gestation period. It had one set of artwork, then another, and by the time we eventually got it, it was a bit underwhelming. It seemed to be very multi-ball heavy, which...
You had The Hobbit?
I didn't have it, I played it.
Okay.
Dialed In, I would say, is the one JJP that I've really enjoyed playing. That game, we have it at the club. I actually enjoy playing it. I haven't played... I played Toy Story very briefly. It just felt like, which everyone said, it was a real miss. It felt like a carnival game. It didn't feel like Toy Story, which kind of, I liked the Duke Kaboom ramp. That was fun, but there wasn't nothing there for the money they go for to make me want to get one. Wonka, I tried that. It came out almost, I think, exactly the same time as Avengers. I believe that's correct. And
yes, not Infinity Quest. The old
No. Avengers Infinity Quest and
really, what Wonka did?
Or was it Guns N' Roses? Was it Guns? No,
it was Guns N' Roses. I apologise. Guns N' Roses. Yeah.
But I went to Neil's and played. He had both. They both arrived. It was Guns N' Roses. I apologise. And I played Guns N' Roses first because that was the one I was most intrigued to play. And then I went and played Avengers, and I didn't want to go back to Guns N' Roses. Probably mostly your initial impressions, the shots on Avengers, you know, are great. Guns N' Roses, again, looked very impressive, but it wasn't that fun to play. And I'm hoping that this will... Well, it will be.
I'll tell you what I think we should probably do. I'm going to turn the volume down a little bit, otherwise I'm just going to get hit with so many copyright strikes. And that's, I think on the last one I did, it was, I was getting all the... hey, Elton was claiming his music.
Lawyered up.
He was ready. He was certainly ready for me. I mean, we maybe have a quick game of doubles on it. Now, we're not going to be filming this as a gameplay. There'll be a lot of gameplay stuff that appears on this channel with this game. What do you think of the lights in the middle initially? The Elton John font,
the small little lights.
Yeah, I think it looks gorgeous.
It reminds me a little bit actually of in Guns N' Roses where they had sort of the cities, didn't they? The map of the US, I think it was.
Okay.
And it had sort of lots of little tiny LEDs, and they do work very well. Must be a nightmare to program them all, but
well, yeah. I mean, it's like it's typing it out, isn't it? Sorry, right. It's like it's writing it out. It's because it's that theatre lighting that you get like backstage around like the mirrors, and that's it. Because it's all glitz and glamour.
The other thing I didn't notice in other videos I've watched is that the the lights underneath the inserts for the stars are not one single light. They're obviously a cluster of LEDs, so it can do multiple colours. It can have a twinkling effect, which is nice. So it just all adds, doesn't it? And the pianos, that's just fantastic. Isn't
it really is. Listen, let's have a game of doubles, and then whilst I play my game, why don't you tell us what's going on with Pinball Republic at the moment?
Okay,
people are asking.
Well, as many people will know, the club has been served notice. We cannot continue to exist in our current venue past February, and we've been actively looking to find a new venue.
And you found one?
Well, we hope so. We hope so. We haven't been able to find one in the immediate vicinity because the prices are just ridiculous. Goes to show why it took 5 years to find that venue in the first place.
Yeah.
Somewhere that was affordable. We've had a good deal, in fairness. So the costs are going to more than double moving to the new venue if we can make it work, which means that the cost of membership is going to have to go up. So what we've done is we've put the membership price up from the start of next year, just coming, 2024, in order to see whether or not we can keep the members we have. Because if everybody says, well, I'm not paying that, and drops out, it's a non-starter.
Sure.
We just can't afford to do it.
Oh shit, that's your ball. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Matt. Hold on.
Skill.
See the skill?
Yeah,
see the skill?
It was noted. But if enough people stick with it, then we can hopefully make the new venue work. And one of the good things about the new venue, if we can get in there, is that we've got room for a lot more games, more than double what we have at the moment.
And it's in Orpington, which is inside the M25,
yes.
which I think is key.
And it's a lot quicker to get to from the M25. So one of the issues with Croydon is the amount of time it takes to get through all that traffic, although it is slightly more central. But it's still near a good train station, and there's a lot of potential there. And there really is, but first and foremost, we have to make sure enough people really want us to do it and are willing to stick with the membership. And
you think from January on that?
So we've increased the membership fees from next year in order to see, because we have to sign up for a 5-year lease.
Sure.
And the last thing we want to do is sign up for a 5-year lease and then find out nobody's got the appetite to pay 50 quid a month membership.
Yeah.
That will include all your league fees for Thursday nights, which previously was an additional extra, and it will give you discounts to the large competitions we do, which we will have to do almost one a month, a weekend of big comps.
Oh, a weekender every month?
Yeah, pretty much, because they bring in lots of people, they help keep the club running, and we will be making a concerted effort to do those regularly. But there's other things like we'd love to. We will have the space to have more seating, to have a commentary booth, a streaming setup, stuff like that. It may not happen instantly, but it's the sort of thing we want to get done. Now, am I right in thinking I have to hit the stars on this?
I ain't got a bloody clue.
Oh, okay. So the one thing I did pick up the one video I watched was that
I don't know. You know what I mean?
I think you hit the stars to spell Elton John.
Yes, sorry. I thought you meant like as a skill shot. Obviously, the skill shot's gone anyway, isn't it?
Oh, right, okay.
Because of my lovely trap up. So, I mean, this is a... Oh, dear. Oh, I love a kickback as well. There's too few games have a kickback these days.
I love them when they're lit.
What, the kickbacks?
Yes, when they go out there, they're a problem. That shaker motor doesn't mess around, does it?
This is what. Remember, I said to you. I said to you, it's a really. Not only is it a loud game, it's a violent game. So I've got the two loudest and most vibrating games I've ever had are actually next to each other here at the moment, which is Legends of Valhalla and obviously Elton John. But we were looking at the layouts of both games earlier.
We were, yeah.
And they're almost mirrors of each other. They're very, very similar. There we go. You know what you didn't get to see is you get to choose your song at the start. I don't know why that sort of. Do you see that sort of auto launch then?
Yeah. Is the centre button stuck or something?
Yeah. Okay.
The other thing I noticed was the flippers did a juddering, which reminded me a little bit of one of the modes in Dialed In, where the flippers would vibrate.
Have you noticed the flippers feel different to other JJP games?
Right, that's a good point. I didn't notice them feeling weak, which
Yes.
is what I usually notice straight away.
Exactly. Yes.
Guns N' Roses particularly, perhaps it was because I played Avengers on the same day at the same time, that really felt weak.
Yeah, because
Like-
the stern flippers are so snappy.
Yeah, but also, I mean, you could argue that the flippers were strong enough because it made it up the ramps, but it felt like they were just making it up the ramps every time, and it didn't
Oh
feel as
shit! What did I do that for? I don't just think it was. I don't think it's just a strength. You better get there in case it auto plunges, which it has done. I don't think it's just the strength on the JJPs. They just had a very different feel to them, which just wasn't right. It was too spongy. It was a weird one, really. Definitely put me off. There was a chance of me getting a Hobbit, and I love the Hobbit because I love the theme, because Lord of the Rings. But the thing that put me off getting it was the flippers. I would have no reservations about JJP flippers after this game.
No, I mean, easy to say. I haven't played this very long, but it's just not an issue, is it?
No, it just feels normal, doesn't it? Yeah.
I mean, that was one of the... I really like Alien, for example. I had an original Highway.
Yeah.
And the biggest issue with it, everything I found was really, really good, except for the feel of the flippers.
Yes. How easy do you think that is to sort out? Because that I would have an Alien. I think it's a packed game.
You
but
mean
the flippers,
retrospectively, do it yourself
Yeah.
kind of thing? Oh,
that's the second time that's happened to you.
jumped over the flippers,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's quite a jump. Maybe probably take the
It's
slingshot
bouncing
power
off and it
down.
comes off of this ramp, doesn't it? I don't know. I don't have enough. I mean, is it just a case of different coils or adjusting the amount of voltage? I don't know. Sounds like a problem for someone like Jimaski. He'd solve it.
Oh my word! It's jumped. So it's the third time it's jumped up like that. Actually, that's you, Matt. Sorry,
That's all right.
we need to sort that out. It's probably me because I've moved it from here to there. I've upset something. I mean, the other thing you're not getting when we're playing this now is you're not getting the full vibe of it because we've got the volume cranked down.
Yeah.
That's a short game that we've just had there, isn't it?
You got your name up.
I'll leave me name. I would imagine that's just.
Today's score.
That's
is
just today's score. Yeah, we'll check that. I think something's being pressed down there, isn't it, to make that auto launch?
These Radcows look really.
Well, let's sort. I mean, yeah, I think I didn't know what the name was. So for those of you that don't know, and I certainly didn't know, these are not decals; they're bits of plastic. And what it's enabled them to do, if you come and have a look here, look at the depth that it's got of the colours on there.
Yeah. So when I was looking from this side, I didn't notice that they were particularly different, but it must be the way that because of all the lights on it at the moment.
Yeah.
From this side, you can really see the sheen, how shiny they are, and you do. There's got glitter in it. There's, like you say, there's almost depth of perspective on there, isn't
It
there?
really is, yeah. And I just love the way. Well, not only has he drawn it well, and I've always thought it can't be easy to draw people. You can almost, and it sounds crazy as it sounds, you can almost go make them look too cartoony,
Yeah.
or they can look too realistic. But he's got a really nice balance here, and if you look there on the side, look at the side of that back box. That's about as good as it gets, I think. I mean,
It does go with the
that's
theme
cool
really
as hell.
well.
And look at the pinball. There's just the pinball machines there as well, and he's just pointing down onto it. It's it does. It matches the theme absolutely beautifully. So what's been going on with London Pinball then? What's going on with there at the moment?
As quite a few of you know, I lost my job after 16 years of hard service. So now I have a lot more time available to help Sarah with London Pinball. So I've been doing a bit of everything really. Lots of deliveries. If anyone needs an urgent delivery, give me a shout. Although Martin Palfreyman, who has been the courier of choice for many years.
Yeah, no, he's brilliant.
He's still the man to go to,
Yep.
especially for the price he does it for. It's almost unbelievably cheap, but it does mean that sometimes you have to wait. So, especially with the run up to Christmas, I've been doing quite a few. Well, I say quite a few, a few deliveries for people, picking up machines, getting them back to them in time for Christmas. We have the new light boxes, as well as the new.
Yeah, you got that one I got there is a stern one,
So this is the Spike 2 stern size.
and then we've got here.
Yeah, in fact.
You go on, plug
Plug
that
it
in.
in.
It's the same. Yeah, they've got the bit there. Johnny Mnemonic, which
the wrong end.
Want to put the power into it.
So this is the Bally Williams.
So you put any Translite in this, don't you?
Any Bally Williams Translite, they're the right size, effectively. This is the world's worst Translite. It's got holes in it and everything where it's been in a stock room, rolling around on the floor. But this is the first one for approval, the prototype. I've got these coming in January, so they'll be available on the website very shortly. I'll announce it.
Well, we'll put the link to London Pinballs in the description below. If you want to get in touch with Matt for either things, either a quick pinball delivery, or of course,
and the beauty of these is they're
one of these
a hell of a lot cheaper than.
Go on, plug Deadpool back in. He deserves it.
Oh, okay. A hell of a lot cheaper than other ones I've been able to look at online in the past.
Well, listen, don't say the price, because cause someone might look at this in 5 years' time and inflation and whatnot. And
yeah, of course, but no, they are. I think they're really good value for money. And people seem to be really happy with them, which is the most important.
Well, I like that. I think that looks really, really good there. So people are going to get used to seeing that on the channel, because obviously we're always filming stuff in here. You sold TNA.
I have.
Yeah.
I have.
I mean, it's a great game. It's a game. To be fair, it's a great game. It's a great game. I say a great game. It's a great game. I have played twice.
It was a bit of a bind for me. Something had to go, and I have a number of Sterns on site in bars and places around London, but they're out earning their keep as such. TNA has been at the club, and it's been there for quite a long time, but I had a choice of either selling a bunch of games or one more valuable machine. And as painful it is to sell, I don't want to sell anything, to be perfectly honest, but it's going to be enjoyed by someone else. I'm delivering it tomorrow, so he'll have it there for Christmas, and the house will be rocking to Scott Denise's tunes.
It's got some sound package on it.
It has.
So that was no good on location. That doesn't earn money.
I never put it on location.
Oh, right,
it went straight to the club.
Okay. What are your top three earners in terms of games on location? Because it's actually a conversation I've been having, quite a lot recently with different people.
It does vary in periods of time. I would say the ones that have worked out best for us, Star Wars. As much as I don't enjoy the game personally, I have similar frustrations to you. It earns well on site.
Yeah.
Ghostbusters the same. AC/DC, maybe not as much now as it did, but that was a great
AC/DC used to earn a lot of money on.
AC/DC was a great site game.
Really?
Yeah, and it still is. It never does poorly.
Despite the drawbacks with the music, it even though the music would have put people off, people would still, obviously the game. I can't stand it. The game.
Are you enjoying playing Elton John?
I love Elton John, but let's be fair.
I mean, I like AC/DC. So.
Terrible music, terrible game.
Well,
AC/DC. I'm surprised it got a penny.
Well, there you are. Obviously, you're in the minority on that one.
Okay, so AC/DC did well on location.
It did. I mean, I would also say Attack from Mars. When I had that on site, my first one, that did really well. But it was an original. So you can go through, you can put new targets in, you screw them into the wood, but the wood you're screwing it into is still old unless you buy a brand new playfield. So the targets move sooner. It was a popular game, but it needed a lot of upkeep.
Sure. Was that the one I had here? The one you got from Italy?
No.
Okay.
No, that was my second one. But it's a great game, so people love to play it. So I mean, I haven't put an Adams on site. We did put a Star Trek Next Gen and the Twilight Zone previously, and there's just so much to go wrong with them, and it does.
Yeah.
So,
what we've had, I know Star Trek Next Generation had one. Adam's Family's the same, is it?
I haven't put one on site. The truth is that they don't come up for the sort of price I'd be happy to pay very often. Yeah. And whenever I have got hold of one, people have been after it off me straight away.
Sure.
And as a lot of people will know, whilst I've got quite a lot of machines, around 60, if somebody's after a dream theme for them and I've got it, I don't mind letting it go, because I've got plenty of other games. If someone's really going to get enjoyment from it, then there'll be another one eventually. So
yeah, absolutely. Did you hear that? It seems like CGC have lost the license to do the Bally Williams games. Have you heard that?
I heard that Pedretti will be making them.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that was actually confirmed or it was a rumour. Is that confirmed?
Well, I think it's on what they call Nap Arcade. I think it's a pretty good website, that. So
it is, generally speaking. But I mean, it's not an official announcement. But
it seemed pretty close. It seemed like
Pedretti
official.
have been working with them, haven't they? Because they've done the 2.0s of Funhouse.
Yes.
And
So who are Pedretti?
so Pedretti Gaming, they're a manufacturer, firstly and foremostly, who came to prominence when they started making machines for Pinball Brothers. So once Highway became Pinball Brothers, Pedretti were making the Alien machines, and then subsequently Queen.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So they're a manufacturing company. I believe that there's been some sort of conglomeration of the two companies, or they've.
Well, apparently, I think, as I understood it, there were 3 companies involved in this, and they've got access to not only the Bally Williams license, but all the parts and everything that they need to recreate these games.
Forgive me, I could be shot down in frames, but I believe that Pinball Brothers and Pedretti joined forces and created it was either like Eurogamer or something like that. Another company that was the manufacturing arm, if you like, of a pinball manufacturing company. So perhaps that was why it was created, because they were working in the background to get these Bally Williams licenses.
Yeah.
Be interesting to see what they go for, what they're going to make.
Well, so as rumours I understand it, is 1 each year.
Yep.
1 a year. So I don't know what their capacity is for making games. How many do they have the factory to make? What is going to be
I've not been there, but they've
demand?
obviously been knocking out a few
Yeah.
machines. It's not like, I mean, even CGC have struggled to get games out. Lots of companies do.
Well, what's going to happen to them now?
Making pinball is hard, that famous saying.
Wonder what happened to CGC.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see.
If they no longer have that, I mean, I even wonder if we'll even see Pulp Fiction.
Oh, you're going that way. See, I would say that Pulp Fiction was so well received. If they can continue to make games of that quality, they'll sell machines. It's whether they can make them. That's all.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. The question. I mean, I have a Monster Bash remake. Fantastically well made.
Yes.
Great game. I would, without hesitation, buy another one.
Yeah.
Whether it be Medieval Attack, if they remade them, or something new. But the truth of the matter is, if you're buying a CGC at the minute, if you want, for example, Pulp Fiction, if I could have got on with a topper, I might have bit the bullet, but I couldn't. I was too late to the party, and I didn't really want it without the topper.
Sure.
And I know you don't play the topper, but you feel like you're getting 3/4 of the game almost, and it's probably out of proportion, but that's how it felt.
Well, as you see, there's no toppers in here.
No, that's true. But that game feels like it's possibly still a year away. And Cactus Canyon, how long have people been waiting for that?
A couple of years.
I don't think anyone has any concerns about what they make. It's when they make them.
Yeah.
But if they've lost that license, I believe they've got the people there to come up with good licenses and make good games. Well, I say, design good games. Can they make them? That's the question. What is the hold-up, truly, in making these games? Are they having trouble sourcing the parts?
Sure.
Who knows?
Yeah.
It's kind of radio silence, but
they're
not the only ones. I mean, I believe we're going to hear something from American Pinball soon, but they haven't done anything for ages, have they?
Well, Galactic Tank Force.
I'll stand by what I said.
They haven't done anything.
It looks fantastic. I've not played it. I shouldn't say that, but the buzz that was there before it was released, was much more than.
Yeah, but I mean, that is a tank. Well, it's not. It's the Legends of Valhalla.
Yep.
I'm pointing at Legends of Valhalla at the moment. Clearly, they can make pinball machines. There's no.
Yeah, I've not heard many people say anything negative about the quality of the machines they make. The bigger issue, I think, so far with the American pinball games is, for me, they've lacked that fun factor.
Sure.
Actually, Legends of Valhalla was a game I enjoyed shooting when I was at the Dutch Open. Perhaps erring slightly on the side of too easy, but it may well have been how. But you were
very good, despite that demonstration there. I think, in fact, I'd actually beat you. Aside from the fact that we'll play no more games now, I've beaten Matt. He's a very, very good player.
Yeah, I mean, and don't get me wrong, some of the games I enjoyed the most, Scared Stiff when I owned it. It's not a hard game,
easy,
but it's still fun.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm a child. I like a bit of innuendo and a bit of...
There's no innuendo in that.
No, there's not. It's quite... I don't know if you could say it's very serious, but...
Yeah, I think it is. There are some jokey elements, but you could never call it humorous. It's not a humorous game. But then again, this isn't humorous. It's just, I think, maybe just because it's so camp and there's such great music on it and such, you know, really good toys. As I said, there's not a lot of difference between the layout and the shots are not massively different on the two games.
No, but then it's also about how the game makes you feel.
Yes,
it's the feedback, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's the same with the flippers. If your tactile interaction with the game is disappointing, it doesn't really matter what the rest is like.
Yeah,
it can ruin the whole experience. At the moment, I've not enjoyed this because we had a pretty poor game.
Yeah. Well, we'll play it.
But it does draw me in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it's just yes. Well, firstly, this one's switched on and that one's not.
True.
The lighting on that one is terrible.
Yeah, it's a bit dark.
Yeah, no, it is. It is absolutely drawing you in. So, what are you talking about competitions? So, what have you got to do with the IFPA? What?
Okay, so as the country director, I am the go-between the right word? The conduit between the UK.
That's a good word.
And the IFPA. So if people have any issues or any questions or need any help or anything really, they can come to me first and foremost. I will endeavour to help as much as I can, and then if required, go to Josh or whoever at the IFPA. And it's also about organising our UK Championship Series. So every year the UK has a Championship Series. We have this £1 fee. Every player that goes in every competition pays £1 towards the IFPA. That money is
stolen.
No, I'll be honest. Now I've seen the figures.
Yeah,
it's nowhere near as bad as I thought. So actually, a lot of that money will go to most of it comes back to the UK. So we use it for the UK Championship Series. So for example, this year there's going to be a big donation to a charity. So whoever wins it will get to choose their charity and donate a lot of money towards that. That was what Wayne organised. And also some of the money will be going towards the venue for the cost of running the event.
Yeah,
stuff
absolutely.
Like that, putting food on or what have you. So all those decisions become mine now. So when Wayne was making his decisions and I was giving him my thoughts, and I'm sure a lot of other people did now, that'll be me that receives all their earfuls.
Yeah.
But so one of the things I did was I reached out to as many of the players, tried to cover a bigger area, people up north, and get a feel for what people wanted from it. And as usual, everyone has different things they want. But one of the big issues with the UKCS this year is that because the UK Open is such a big competition, and because there's effectively 4 competitions there, if you attended and you did half decent, it outweighs almost all the rest of the year's worth of competitions.
Yeah.
And so Raymond Davidson did fantastically well, as a great player. But he's, I think, second or third in the UKCS standings for coming over for one weekend.
Okay.
So at the moment, the way it runs is there's a select number of events. I'm going to try something different for the first year. So for next 2024, the way this UKS standings will work will be that every IFPA endorsed competition in the UK will qualify you points towards your standings. Now, that's to help mitigate how heavily weighted the points are at the UK Open. So, you know, if you did well at the UK Open, you're going to be high anyway. But if you had a bad weekend that weekend, you can still... it's not just 8 attempts in the year. You've got all the other competitions. And I want to encourage as many competitions as possible because I know I've seen it over the years. It's a gateway to get more people into the hobby.
But you don't have to attend all of those tournaments, do you, to ratify them? Or
No, if they're IFPA sanctioned events, then they're going to be run to a certain standard. Now, that doesn't mean they have to be these weekend-long competitions. You could still do a 10-game competition at your house, wherever it might be.
What's the minimum number of people?
You're testing my IFPA knowledge now, and I'm not sure.
Would it have to be? You'd have to throw it open to everybody if you had at your house.
Yes, there are some stipulations where you can restrict it. Obviously, if you don't have enough room at your home to accommodate all the people that want to go. But at the end of the day, as long as you follow the IFPA rules and it's a sanctioned event, no matter how large or small, because if it's a small event, and I've heard some people say to me, "Oh, a small event shouldn't count; they're not worthy of being in it." Well, you get less points for a small event.
Sure.
So therefore, it doesn't have a big effect on the overall standings, particularly. But if someone, because there are people that go to lots of events, really dedicated pinball players, they want to get better. They attend lots of events all over the country, and to some people they'd say, "Oh, they're throwing mud at the wall and see what sticks." Well, to me, I don't see why that should be. Why should you knock somebody that puts in all that effort?
Well,
let them be rewarded.
I guess there's two things. There's a clearly I'm not competitive at pinball, but as somebody that's been competitive at other things, I think it still gets to the point where you've got two things. You can either chase points, but at some point, you're going to have to play the best at some point, and that's really where it's going to. There's two things. You can either sort of win a tournament and go for it that way, and actually, I guess you've got match play and different things like that. So there's that, and it's not the same thing. Accruing all the points is not the same as going to a tournament and winning.
Don't get me wrong. This is the first year. If at the end of this year it turned out that the best players didn't go to enough and then therefore were lower down the rankings, that wouldn't be right.
Yeah.
But assuming they go to a good number of events. But the truth is I have looked at what the standards would have been for the past year, and even what you do find is that the best players are still at the top.
Yeah.
The better, well, except for me if somehow I got up there. But the best players are still gravitating towards the top because they get the most points. You don't have to go to 25 events in a year to get good points if you win more often. So somebody like Craig, who doesn't attend as many events as, say, don't want to name anyone now, me, let's just say, because he wins a lot, he gets lots of points.
Yes.
So he could get 30 points for a win, somebody else might get 10 threes. So it's much easier for him. So at the end of the day, it's my first year doing it. I wanted to make it as all-encompassing as I can. I want it to be inclusive, encourage more competitions. If you think, there's more competitions down south, then hold a competition up north. I will actively help. If people want me to help, I will. I'll do whatever I can. I want to encourage more competitive play because I've seen the community at Pinball Republic has been born from the league night.
Sure.
And I think we've been lucky, but there's such a great group of people down there. That's one of the reasons I'm so determined to see the club thrive and continue, because the community we've built, it's just full of great people.
And how many games are at the Pinball Republic right now?
Just over 60. 63, I think, is our capacity.
And what do you think at the new venue, which I know you're not really... Actually, there is a schematic I noticed on your thread. Is that a floor plan?
There's a kind of a generic floor plan done to scale. I believe if we did nothing but machines, we could get 150 in. We're not going to do that. We need a reception desk. We want some seating areas.
Massage area for between games for people.
Yeah, if you're offering free ones, yeah.
Absolutely.
We would like to have a commentary booth, streaming setup, things like this. We're gonna create a lounge area like we had before with a kitchen. And there's a lot of work to do. There's barely enough plug sockets in there at the moment. There's a lot of electrical work to do. The toilets need to be improved. But we need to get the deal done first.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll see what the feedback is from the members as to whether or not enough are willing to stay on. We will be adding a sort of a Patreon, if you like. More, let's call it what it is. It's a donations option.
Yeah.
So if somebody wants to support the club but doesn't feel they're going to get the full benefit of being a member because they're not close enough or can't come regularly enough, we're going to offer a patron membership. Well, a chance to donate and help the club survive.
Yes.
Because there have been people that have done that over the period. A lot of people, when we first started, I'll be honest, many of them were friends of mine.
Yeah, but obviously Patreon, you notice they'll take 10% of your money.
Oh, I'm not suggesting it'll be through Patreon.
Yeah, so have patrons.
Patronage.
Have a patronage, absolutely. Yeah.
Option as well. So give ourselves enough. And the truth is, if the club starts getting to the point whereby, because we're not for profit, there's nothing can come away.
Yes.
So if it gets to the point where actually we're building up a bit of money in the bank, we'll either have to spend some money on the place to make it better for the members, or we can look at an option of perhaps reducing the prices. But it's very difficult to go the other way if we get it wrong.
Yes.
And the truth is, the membership base will have to grow in order for that to happen. But it has always grown. It's always very slowly and steadily got bigger and bigger. other than the COVID period. And there's no reason why it shouldn't continue to do that if we can make it a place worth visiting.
You've got a lot on your pinball plate, my friends, with London Pinball, with Pinball Republic, and of course the IFPA.
Yep, that's without 3 kids and a wife.
Absolutely, but at least they all play pinball.
Mostly.
Mostly
Katie's not so keen, but...
No, she'll get there. She'll get there. Matt, cheers. Thanks for popping over.
That's all right.
We're gonna play some Elton John now. We're gonna sort this out. Have a game. Have another game. And Matt is an excellent player. One thing I hope that your IFPA inclusion doesn't sort of impact your playing negatively. So one thing I have noticed, and particularly talk about Wayne. I know it's slightly different when Wayne would be doing the Pinfest.
Yeah.
The Pinfest show. It was very hard for him to play and do that because you need a certain amount of.
I have some experience of this running the league on a Thursday because I'm running the club as well as running the league and also wanting to have a go. What I tend to find is that I rush round trying to get my games in as quick as I can.
Yes.
Which is kind of at odds with playing for as long and getting as good a score as you can. It's not ideal, but honestly, I'm one of these people. When my house is full of pins, I'm not happy me playing pinball as much as I am standing back and watching them all get hammered by a group of others.
Yeah.
There's nothing more enjoyable for me than seeing them all busy, making loads of noise, and other people enjoying them. So
it's true. It's true. It's the best hobby in the world. It really is.
Besides, it wouldn't hurt for me to take a step back before Lucy and Daniel get better than me anyway. Well, Jakey, my son, he's better than me. He says now it happens after Pinfest. It happened at some point in the last 3 months. He became better than me. You could tell quite early on he had a rather natural knack. I think he must have good hand-eye coordination.
He has,
when he came to the club before, I was quietly impressed with how well he picked it up.
Well, I mean, the thing that really helped him was I taught him to juggle.
Ah, okay.
And as I always said, because I can't juggle 5 balls anymore, but I used to be able to juggle 5 balls. I mean, Spencer could juggle 7 or 8. Spencer, excellent juggler, yeah. But what I always used to say, look, I'm used to not only catching 5 balls in the air, but putting them back up again as well. So when I used to play sport and I'd have to catch 1 ball, that was easy.
Yeah.
So I taught him to juggle, and that was. I think it really helped him. So, his hand-eye coordination's very good. But it was things like that. So he did a little. We were playing Veteran Magic the other day, and it came down, bang, little bump pass. What's he doing? It came over and he executed a shot. And of course, his accuracy. So now he's got the flipper skills. His accuracy was good anyway because he's young and they're like that. So now he's got some tricks, and he's just. I kept on saying to him, well, you need to learn how to do the bounce pass. He knows how to do it, but he forgets to do it. Yeah. And then just last week, 2 weeks ago, he started live catching. I thought, oh no. And then he said, okay, do you think I'll be able to learn this bounce pass? I said, yeah, you will, because that's far easier than what you're currently doing. Yeah. You've just got to remember to do it. So yeah, I'm sort of screwed really. But it's trying to encourage him to join in on the tournaments at Pinfest. Yeah. I need to encourage him to get involved as well, because that's one thing, all your family do. You get so involved in the tournaments.
They do, and I get stick because I think this year at Pinfest I got a second and a third, or a third and a fourth trophy. But the wife won the ladies, Lucy won the juniors, and Daniel won the youth. So yeah, I was the loser that year.
Yeah, you get to the bottom shelf at home, in the quite right. So yeah. You've won plenty of trophies.
Yeah, it's nice to be able to give them to the kids. They think you're better than you are.
There you go, mate.
Pleasure as
always.
Cheers,
buddy.